Imagine walking up to a cinema box office, handing over 500 rupees, and sitting down in the dark, only to realize you've just bought a ticket to a 3-hour political commercial. Director Aditya Dar has utilized Dhurandhar 2 to function as the most expensive election advertisement ever produced for the ruling party. You don't even have to take my word for it. The Chief Minister of Assam, Himanta Biswa Sarma, stated publicly that anyone who goes to the theaters to watch this film will come out and vote for the BJP. The entire massive budget, the cinematic lighting, and the dramatic score are engineered to sell the Indian public on one single product: Narendra Modi. By convincing the voter to pay out of their own pocket to be advertised to, the production flips the traditional economics of political campaigning. Like any clever ad, this one comes wrapped in a layer of deceptive packaging. Right before the film starts, a standard disclaimer flashes on screen, stating it is inspired by real events. Filmmakers rely on this single line to justify using real politicians, specific historical dates, and actual criminals, while simultaneously claiming that any resemblance to real persons is purely coincidental. This tactic strips away the audience's ability to distinguish between historical fact and imaginary narrative. News footage blends into scripted scenes, leaving you unsure where reality actually ends. To get you to buy what they are selling, the filmmakers rely on emotional priming, manipulating your feelings first so you accept a specific narrative later. The movie opens with a sequence where a Sikh man is burned alive on fake blasphemy charges in Pakistan, surrounded by a mob chanting hateful slogans. The logic here is highly calculated. Burning the audience's emotional tine with raw anger and religious anxiety right out of the gate makes them eager to swallow whatever political solution the story offers later. Then comes the film's strangest trick: the villain endorsement. In one specific scene, the character based on Dawood Ibrahim, India's most wanted gangster, actually praises the Prime Minister's effectiveness, complaining that this new leader has struck intense fear into his syndicate. Praise from a hero is expected, but when the ultimate villain validates the product, your critical filters drop and you start to subconsciously believe the leader must be that powerful. Once your guard is down, the script begins rewriting facts. The film explicitly claims that foreign elements, specifically Pakistan's ISI, are actively funding Indian NGOs, universities, and socialists to destabilize the nation. This narrative has severe consequences. The government used this identical premise to cancel the foreign funding licenses of over 20,000 nonprofits and effectively shut down civil rights groups like Amnesty International. The actual data tells a different story. Reports have repeatedly shown that massive amounts of foreign funding from US-based charities systematically flowed into right-wing affiliated organizations, not the progressive groups targeted in the film. The movie is doing active political work here, manufacturing a retroactive cinematic justification for the suppression of India's civil society. The boldest historical rewrite comes when the film tackles the 2016 demonetization. The script frames the overnight banning of currency notes as a calculated masterstroke to neutralize 60,000 crores in fake currency meant to fund terrorism. This chart shows the immense gap between that script and reality. While the film claims 60,000 crores of fake money was in play, the Reserve Bank of India's official data confirms they detected 43 crore rupees in fake currency that entire year. Ultimately, the stated goal of flushing out massive hidden wealth failed. A staggering 99.3% of all the banned currency notes returned directly into the banking system within a year. What the movie deletes is the human cost. The sudden cash crisis triggered a drop in the national GDP and led to the deaths of citizens standing in endless queues outside ATMs and banks. By scrubbing away the economic damage and the civilian suffering, the film attempts to convert a documented policy disaster into a victory for the Prime Minister. Advertising agencies often achieve their most significant impact through the fine print, the specific information intentionally withheld from the consumer. The filmmakers delete relevant events that contradict their narrative. For example, they erase the Prime Minister's surprise diplomatic visit to Pakistan in December 2015 to share a meal with Nawaz Sharif. They leave this out because 8 days after that friendly visit, terrorists from Pakistan attacked the Pathankot Air Force Station, killing 7 Indian security personnel. They also ignore the fact that prior to the 2019 Pulwama attack, the government received multiple concrete intelligence inputs warning of an impending strike, yet no preventative action was taken. These historical truths are surgically removed because they contradict the client brief of presenting a leader who makes no mistakes. When a film alters facts this aggressively, it crosses into gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation where the abuser tries to convince you that your own memory of events is wrong. We see this in how the movie portrays the assassination of Atiq Ahmed. On screen, the murder of Atiq Ahmed while in police custody is presented as a calculated intelligence operation directed by the state. The reality was a failure of law and order that happened on live television. It was such a major systemic embarrassment that the Indian Parliament held a formal moment of silence to offer the deceased gangster a tribute. This propaganda is uniquely dangerous because the filmmakers aren't twisting ancient history from 1947. They are actively attempting to overwrite events from 2016 to 2023 that you physically lived through. High-budget cinema functions as a direct weapon against reality when it is deployed to overwrite the very memories you physically lived through.